Okay, so today we're going to be doing a dupes video, and doesn't everybody just love a good dupe? Instead of just kind of showing you the dupes, why don't we just put them on the face and we can compare them and actually see them in action, because that's probably the best way to compare how similar they are. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to be honest with you, because I always will be honest with you. Some of these are only suspected dupes, meaning that I'm not sure, are they dupes? We don't know. I just suspect so. I have been undertaking some serious swatching over the past few days, and swatching wise they look similar, but I suppose it could be a different story when I actually bang them on my face. A little bit of like a experimentation today, but it's going to be a super long video. I'll try and edit as much as I can, but I know it's going to be super long, so I'm just going to get straight into it. We're going to begin with a liquid illuminator. I've got two here. I've got the Nars Copacabana. I just can't not get that song in my head when I hear the word Copacabana. I can't stop. Should I do the whole rest of the video just along to the theme tune of Copacabana? Okay, so over here we have NYX, Born to Glow, a liquid illuminator, and this is in the shade Sunbeam. Anyway, I'm going to stop that now. I know you're probably supremely getting annoyed with me right now, so I'm just going to pull it back in, and it's almost 2 minutes in, and as yet, I don't have any dupes on my face. These do look extremely similar indeed. Pinky, silvery kind of liquid illuminator. These can be used like a cream highlighter, just dabbed on top of your foundation, but really, I think that's just an accident waiting to happen, because it never seems to work for me. Or you can mix these in with your foundation to make it like a super dewy kind of, you know, formulation. Or there's more. Literally, you could do so many things with this. You can apply it to your face before you put the foundation on, which I don't know if that does much, let's be real here, because it's hidden under your foundation, which you bought because it was medium to high coverage, because you wanted to cover up your skin, therefore cover up anything you've got on your skin. I don't really think illuminators work like under a foundation, but anyway, that's what we're going to do today, because I could disprove my theories. Okay, so here we go. Over here we've got the NYX one, and then here we've got Copacabana. As you can see, Copacabana is a bit more pink, and the NYX one is a bit more silver. I've put way too much on here, like way too much. Why did I think it was necessary to put all of this on? Do look slightly different, I will admit it. Okay, so I've put the LA Girl on. I'm just giving the YSL a little bit of a shake, and we're going to apply this to this side of the face. Just bang it on. Why not? Bang it on. Oh, I used that sponge. Okay, we're going to go with the Beauty Blender for this side. I just hope that this is going to work. Okay, so I've applied both sides now, and I've been having a look in the mirror, and they both look very similar. Both, I would say, the same amount of coverage. Both give you that kind of, you know, the glowy look where, you know, the light kind of bounces off your face. It's not kind of flat matte. And yeah, I think the shades as well are pretty similar. Like if you were looking at me, like say we're Morrison's, we're by, you know, say the courgettes. I'm looking at the courgettes deciding which one to buy, and you're coming over, you wouldn't look at me and go, has that girl got 2 different shades of foundation on? I don't think you would. I think you would probably just think, oh, there she is, looking at courgettes. I don't know. But so I can officially confirm, in my opinion, I think that the LA Girl Pro coverage is a good dupe for the YSL Touch Eclat. So save yourself some money. If you've been wanting to buy the Touch Eclat, I'd go for the LA Girl. It holds up really well. Even if you have oily skin, I wouldn't be afraid of it, because I have oily skin. I've got something on my lip here that's itching. Anyway, I have oily skin, and I do powder with it. I'm not brave enough to leave the house without powdering and setting the bad boy in place. I'm not brave enough, but it's a brilliant foundation. Okay, so next we're going to move on to, we'll do eyebrows, why not? So the dupes, again, this is a suspected dupe, not a tried and tested dupe. I'm just winging it. I am winging it. I want to get a t-shirt that says, Anwen, I'm just winging it. On the front, it would kind of say, duh, 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 and then like dot, 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 and then on the back, winging it, so everyone knows she's just winging it. Give her a little bit of leeway, she's winging it. The Anastasia of Beverly Hills, this thing is it. I've got something tickling my nose, and I didn't want to mention it, but it really distracted me. This is the brow definer in the shade Taupe by ABH. It costs £16. And over here we have the Makeup Revolution Ultra Brow Arch and Shape, and this is in the lightest shade, and this costs £3.50. I love this. Okay, so I'm just doing little swatches. So this one is the ABH. These are basically like waxy kind of crayon. The shades are very similar. For some reason this ABH one isn't as creamy, not as creamy. Anyway, let's begin. We're going to go first with the cheaper one. I think the shades are a good match though, so I think I'm going to end up with yeah, this one is very creamy. I've not used this one for a while, mainly since I got my ABH one. And it definitely does need a bit more of like a lighter hand. By the way, this is me winging it, doing my eyebrows, winging it. This is what you don't normally get to see, because I do it off camera because I'm not brave enough to do this on camera. The waxy crayon bit at that end. Oh, and then this one doesn't have, like the ABH one has a spoolie at the end. This one has like, it was like a felt tip. It was in its original form. It was like a felt tip. I never knew what to do with that, and a spoolie would have actually been a lot more appreciated. So this is, I don't know what that is. It's a tragic situation now. I don't have a spoolie, so I'm gonna have to borrow the spoolie from the ABH just to neaten this up a little bit. Everyone's doing like the whole soap brow thing. Well, look, I don't even need soap because my brows are just so bushy. I just do this, and then look, soap brow in a second. I'm gonna actually keep the soap brow because I think it's a little bit excessive on my brows. You see how quick and easy that was? We have one eyebrow done here. Let's go in next with the ABH. So I'm gonna just do a very similar thing. I just kind of line underneath my eyebrow to give me like that kind of definition, and then I just kind of fill in the rest. This is by no means a brow tutorial. I am in no way the person to be telling anybody how to do their eyebrows. I just wing it, as we've discussed earlier. So I just do this. Look here, I do like these little bits, little flary bits. Oh, I've gone a bit too far there, can you see? Anyway, it's fine. The spoolie will take care of that. This one is not as creamy. You have to kind of put a bit more pressure on your brow as you're filling it in. Run the spoolie through the brow there. Okay, what do we think? What do we think? I think very similar. I think the Makeup Revolution one is maybe slightly more pigmented. Because it's creamier, it's just a bit more sensitive, so it's a bit easier to kind of put a bit too much on, which is what I think I've done. But you can see the result is very similar, and if I were taking my time a bit more and wasn't rushing, I feel like very similar. Okay, so again, we have a dupe. I'm very impressed with this, so definitely recommend the arch and brow. No, it's not. It's not. Have you noticed this with Makeup Revolution? Because they do a lot of like obvious dupes of other products, they don't give it a whole new name. They just kind of reverse like the words. So for example, with their, you know, the Kat Von D shade and light palette, they've just called it the light and shade palette. That's what they do. That's how they roll. Respect to them, respect to them. Okay, next we're going to move on to eyeshadow. This is a tried and tested dupe. I have done a whole video on this, so I'm not going to spend too much time going over it. I will link the video in the description below if I remember, which I never do. We've got the Naked One palette in the high-end corner, and then in the affordable corner we've got the Collection Eyes Uncovered palette. One does have how many shades? 4, 8, wait, 4. I can't count all of a sudden. 12 shades in here. This is a much loved and abused palette at this point. The Eyes Uncovered palette only has 6 shades. So as you can see, There's not as many, so it's not like an exact dupe for dupe. However, the shades that are in the collection palette are just very similar. Please check out my video where I do a full kind of comparison on this, because you'll see what I mean. But I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to put these shades on this side, these shades on this side, the corresponding shades, and we'll see, will the eye look be the same? And to try and reduce the length of the video, I'm going to do it off camera, and I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I've done the eyes. I know it's not the best application of my life, but I was just in a rush because I was excited to carry on with the video. I just used as many of the shades as I possibly could, and I was thinking, oh, I'll just do a subtle look. But there's no way you can do a subtle look when you're trying to use as many shades as you can. This eye is the Urban Decay, and this eye is the Collection. I know it looks a bit crazy right now. Hopefully, when I put the mascara on, it will not look quite so crazy. Anyway, what do you think? Be sure to go and have a look at my actual comparison video on both of those palettes if you want more info. Okay, so next we're going to do a little bit of, should we do blush? Right, I'm going to do mascara next, actually. And the two mascaras that I've got, again, suspected dupes, not tested. I have the Too Faced Better Than Sex, and over here we've got the Essence I Heart Volume. I Heart Extreme Crazy Volume Mascara. These two, I don't know, I've worn them both, and they just, like when I tried this one on, it reminded me of the Too Faced one, so we're just going to put them to the test. I'm going to go ahead again and apply these both off camera, just because I don't want to take up too much of your precious time. I obviously have started doing that. Be back in a minute. Okay, so I've done. The result is very similar, in my opinion, but you can decide. What do you think? I think very similar, and if anything, I think I prefer the Essence one because it's given me like a bit more in the way of volume. This one is a bit more dramatic. Do you think? I really think this is just a bit more kind of false lash looking, where I definitely feel like if I had to say which is my favourite, I'd go for the Essence one. The ones are quite different. We've got the Too Faced on the bottom and then the Essence on the top. I'd say the Too Faced wand is just a bit more intricate because it's shaped like an hourglass, whereas the Essence wand is just a bit more like, hello, I'm a bad boy. I'm going to smother your lashes and make them look wild up in here. I definitely think, again, these are dupes. Too Faced is £19 and the Essence one is £2.80. Anyway, the Essence one doesn't smudge like the Too Faced one does, so I definitely would say save yourself how many pounds? Is it £16, 10p? I don't know. If that is correct, I am like a maths genius up in here, and I'm going to just go and burn my calculator when I'm next in the office because I obviously will not need it anymore with my mathematical skills. Okay, so moving swiftly on, we're going to do blushes. I have these two right here. Oh, I keep getting the sides wrong. Okay, so over in the high-end corner, we've got the Nars Gaiety blush. It's cool toned, vibrant pink. I lusted after that blush for so long, and then I got it and I was like, meh, it's nice, but it was just a bit meh. You know, sometimes when you lust after something, it's just a bit of a disappointment. Okay, so here we've got the Makeup Obsession blush in the shade, what is it? Amour. This is in the shade Amour. The Nars one is a bit more kind of purple toned than the Gaiety one, but we're going to put these on our cheeks and decide. I've been wanting to test this out for so long because as soon as I picked up the Makeup Obsession one, I was like, hold back, this reminds me a lot of my Gaiety blush. So I'm going to start with the Nars one. This is very pigmented, so I have to be really careful not to end up with complete clown cheeks. I'll just apply a bit more. This blush gives you a lovely pink glow. Is that a surprise? Are you surprised that this blush gives you a lovely... What are you doing? Excuse me, I'm trying to display you to everybody. You can't be getting shy now and closing up like that. Be confident. We've discussed this before. Be confident with yourself. So, yeah, if you like a flush of pink on your cheeks, I would recommend this one. Okay, so there we go. There we go. Use a completely different brush and we're going to go in with the Lamo. When I was swatching these, they look very similar, but the Lamo, this Makeup Obsession one, just wasn't as pigmented. Although it's coming off quite a bit more pigmented, isn't it, right now? Like it's so visible right there. Let's have a look in the mirror of truth. Okay, the camera's not showing up quite how much I applied, I don't think. I did apply quite a lot. Why am I going in again? Why was I dabbing in again when I've just stated that I've applied way too much? I don't know. This Makeup Obsession blush is £2 and the Nars Gaiety one is £23. So I've just done side-by-side swatches and actually you can see that the Gaiety one is, it just has that purpley kind of undertone to it, whereas the Makeup Obsession is a lot more of like a true pink. But on the cheeks, I think that they both, by the way, I know I put way too much on. Can we pretend? Well, let's do the typical thing of saying it's just for the purposes of the video so you can really see. But I do think that they're very similar. They just give you that flush of pink, unnatural pink on your cheeks. Anyway, moving swiftly on, we're going to do a little bit of a contour. It was really difficult for me to actually find because, and I'm not 100% actually. I'm not 100% that this is going to be a dupe, but whilst we're here, we might as well test it out. I've got the Hoola bronzer, by the way. This is a little deluxe size, but the full size one would cost you how much? This massive contour was just in the way of my prices. How rude. How much is it? Oh, £23.50 for the full size Hoola. And the Makeup Revolution, this is the Ultra Bronze. This beast of a bronzer is £3. So we're going to begin with the Hoola. I don't know. I mean, these, let's just see. Let's put them on and let's just put them on and we'll see. The proof will be in the contour, as they say. Everyone says that. Okay. So, again, I've applied way too much of this. Oh my gosh, this is like the video of Anwen applying way too much of everything. I'll just put some up there. Blend it up, Try and excuse the fact that you've put way too much on. This blush is just throwing me completely off by now. And also what I'm noticing is this side of my face seems to have oxidized a bit, like not my actual face, like my face hasn't oxidized, but you know, I think the YSL is oxidizing. It's changing color. It's saying I'm not staying the same color. I'm so professional right now because I actually have two of my favorite contour blush, so we can make sure that we try this out in a truly scientific way with the same brush. So I'm going to dip my, this is brand new as well, this is like the, I don't know, I was going to say something rude then, but then I decided not to because it wasn't appropriate right now. It was to do with taking away the virginity of my contour brush, if you really had to know. Okay, that's what it was. Okay, so we're going in with the Makeup Revolution. This one is definitely not as pigmented, which I like in a contour, because let's face it, who wants a pigmented contour? Unless you're like the master of contour. Okay, so I've contoured now with both the bronzers, and I also did swatches on my hands. At the top, you've got the Makeup Revolution and then Hoola underneath. It's clear to me that the Makeup Revolution one is very warm. The Hoola one is just a bit more cooler toned. I would say kind of on the face, not that much difference other than the Hoola is a lot more pigmented if you're a beginner to contour or you're just not that confident like me. I would definitely recommend the Makeup Revolution one. I think it's a perfectly good alternative to the Hoola one, and it's what I do. I insist on doing mathematical equations. I don't know, but it's what, £20 cheaper, £20, 50p cheaper. So a bit of a fail, let's be honest, a bit of a fail with the dupe, but anyway, we've got to see both of them in action. Well, you didn't really get to see this one because my battery went dead, and then I thought I'll just carry on. I really struggled to find a highlighter dupe, which is why I just decided to leave it out. I was going to go with, because I thought I could get a dupe for the Mary Luminizer. I was just going to mess about a bit with this palette until maybe I had some semblance of something that looked a bit similar. I'm at the point now where I'm realising everyone's probably hungry. They're watching the video. They didn't get a snack beforehand and they're starving. And health and safety, just health and safety. That's all I'll say. We have Mac Smith at Makeup Revolution's Expose. Makeup Revolution one is £3, Mac is £15.50. Both of these are just very, very similar. Okay, so what do we think? I've got Myth by MAC on the top lip, and on the bottom lip we have Expose by Makeup Revolution. I've also done swatches. Here we've got Myth and then Expose. Formula, I'd say that the MAC one does go on slightly creamier. Yeah, the Expose one just seems a little bit more matte and it's a bit more kind of draggy at the lips. But for what I'm not even going to bother doing the savings. It's about £12.50, about. So I would definitely recommend, if you've been lusting after Myth by MAC, save yourself some money. I think this is one of the best dupes that we've covered today in this video. I would definitely recommend you check out Expose by Makeup Revolution. I can't see any difference, can you? I mean, really, if this one decided to just go off on a round the world trip and just abandon me, I'd be quite happy because I've got this one and I wouldn't miss it. I'm sorry, I feel really bad now. I would miss you, but all I'm saying is I'd be very supportive of your round the world trip. I wouldn't want to hold you back. So we'd all be okay. We'd all be happy. Right, so I'm going to go. I hope that this video has been useful to you. I'm so sorry. I know that it's going to be a really, really long one. I just thought it would be fun to actually try the products on together so we could all see them, as opposed to me just kind of holding them up saying, oh yeah, this is a dupe for this. And actually a lot of them I hadn't even tested out anyway. So it's been a little bit of an exploration. I can't say that word. It's been a bit of an explanation. Why can't I say exploration? I can't say exploration, right? I can say it on its own. So it's been a bit of an exploration. See, I could do it then when I take a pause. Anyway, completely spoiled that whole point that I was trying to make about this being an exploration. I'm going to go now. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Really enjoyed doing it, as always. I'll be back soon with more. Bye. How annoying was that? You know what? I am such a bad girlfriend. I was on my way to the bathroom to get some toilet roll to just clean up my hand. And as I was walking past, I saw a pair of Anton's underpants just on the floor. So I thought, I'll just use his underpants. And do you know what? It serves him right for not putting them in the laundry basket that I'm forever saying to honeys, make sure you put things in the laundry basket. Anyway, these are clean, by the way, I think. I think they're clean. I think they're clean, but I'm just going to use these. Thanks, honeys. Thanks for letting me use your underpants. He doesn't watch my videos anyway, so he's not going to know. It's fine.